This is a newly renovated townhouse apartment in Rittenhouse Square, downtown Philadelphia. This property is collecting $1,800 a month in rent. The cash flow on this property is likely $100 to $200 per month, including debt pay down. The property profit per month is probably $800 to $1,000 max. In this video, we're gonna take that $1,800 a month and we're gonna jack it up. We're gonna more than double the profit on this property as well. So the landlord currently is making his $800 to $1,000 a month. I'm gonna add $1,200 to $1,600 a month in profit on this building per unit, and I'm gonna pocket that money. I'm gonna take that $30-something thousand a year and I'm gonna put it in my pocket. And the best part about it is we're gonna spend $5,000 or $6,000 on this property to make it possible. That is it. We're not putting an extra $70,000 into this unit. We're putting maybe $6,000. My name's Rakidzich, this is Airbnb Automated, and let's show you the before and after and the power of an arbitrage play. So first, let's talk about how this is even possible. How do you take a property that cash flows $100, that including debt pay down, total profit per month is probably $800. How do you take that building and take that cash flow and make it like a $1,500, $1,600, $2,000 per month cash flow with heavy profits, $2,000 per month in profit instead? The way that I pull this off is I'm gonna furnish this place. Little teaser already, you see me sitting on some, and I'm gonna rent it out at different lengths of stay than your regular year-long tenant. So you take a property that you own, that you're financing, same thing. You want a regular tenant as per usual, but you're just gonna go a little bit farther and you're going to design the place. What we're trying to do here is we're actually trying to up the level of convenience with this property and make it easier for somebody just to choose your place without having to buy furniture, spend that time, stuff like this. You're killing the amount of time that it takes for somebody to become your tenant by furnishing the place. In addition, because you don't have to worry about people becoming tenants because they're staying short-term in our business model instead of long-term, you don't have to worry about the egregious lease application process and all the extra security deposits. So what you're doing is you're taking this year-long lease and instead you're gonna give it to people like a week at a time. And in exchange for them not having to find furniture, not having to pay the bills, not having to apply in some like heavy duty way and pay big security deposits, you're able to charge more money per month in profit, like in rents, essentially, by breaking it up into smaller chunks. And then after all these little extra costs of operations, we're gonna profit, between $1,200 and $2,000 a month. So while we set this place up, I'm gonna talk to you about what those costs are so you can understand how this business operates a little bit better. But we're gonna do this before and after, completely empty 2-bedroom apartment in Rittenhouse Square. And at the end of it, you're gonna see what a rental arbitrage looks like, fully furnished, ready to lease. So first things first, let's talk about a plan for this living room and kitchen area. See, the goal of this is to invest a small enough amount of money that at the end of a year or 2-year long lease, your cash flow of $2,000 a month above and beyond what you're paying to the landlord and to utilities, that you can keep as much of that as possible. So I signed a 2-year long lease for this agreement. The reason why I signed a 2-year long lease instead of one is because we're buying our furniture. And if it costs us $5,000 or $6,000 in furniture, dividing that by 12 on a $6,000 budget is $500 a month above our rents. We would break even if we were only able to get $500 more than our rents and utilities. So by taking a 2-year long lease, that divides that by 2, and now our rental, like our furniture cost to buy furniture on a 2-year long lease is $250 a month, right? So you can add that in. So rent is $1,800 and furniture will be $250 a month, and we wanna start clearing the bar there. Now, this living room space is a little bit unique, and that's why this property is only $1,800 a month in a neighborhood where we have 1-bedroom properties that are $1,800 a month, right? So we're talking 3 blocks away, I have ones that are 1-bedrooms that are the same price. Now, the reason why is because spots like this are a little bit hard to work with. The bathrooms there, this wall is about 3.5 feet wide, and then this is about as wide as a love seat and an end table, and then the kitchen is over here. We need to find a way to include eating space, living space where people can enjoy themselves, watch TV, and etc. without overstuffing the space. Now, this may seem like a problem for a regular tenant who wants to have a legitimate couch and a dinner table, but for short-term rentals, people don't need as much stuff. And in order to make this place look good in photos, you don't want to overdo it. So we're going to potentially luck out here where we can spend less money to create a place that looks completely full. right? So let's go over some of the things that we're gonna buy and where we're gonna put them to achieve this under $6,000 budget. So ladies and gentlemen, here's the plan in general. What we've done is instead of having the couch or love seat back to the wall, what we're gonna do is we have a TV stand, as you can see here, that's too wide for this wall right here. So we're gonna have to put the TV on that back wall. So the plant will still cover up this white spot right here, which is actually like where the water and plumbing stuff is that we need for the building. And so the TV will float here. Now the reason why we're using a floating TV stand is because you see there's not really much room here between where the love seat and the TV will be, so we can't really put bulky furniture there. We want to have a small amount of space between the love seat and the TV. There will be one end table that goes over there, leaving plenty of walk room right here, and then plenty of walk room here behind the TV going into the kitchen. Now, these benches don't actually belong here. They're for a different table that we have, but I want to visualize the amount of space that's going to be taken. We're going to put a breakfast rail, as we call it, which is a custom-made wood shelf with L brackets and bar stools that will go against this wall, which when somebody's done cooking food, they can actually go sit on these bar stools over in the breakfast rail. This creates a lot of room to work with and a lot of open space. Open space helps these photos look better. We've actually done breakfast rails in plenty of our spaces, even ones that we're not short on square footage. I'll show you a photo or two as we're talking right now. We are at the home stretch, almost done with this project. We've spent all the money we need to spend, and now we're going to go put this on the market and see how much money we can get for it. So I'm about to take photos of this place, but before I use the camera for that, let me show you around so you can see how much money we spent on this build out. Because of course the goal is to go from a couple $100s a month in cash flow to hopefully as much as $2,000 a month in cash flow, spending very little money on this property in the middle. So let me show you around. One of the most important parts of a short-term rental is a fully stocked kitchen. So we spent about $60 on the pots and pans. We spent about $40 on that knife set. The plates and bowls above, we spent about $30 on the plates and bowls. Then on the coffee station, $50 plus inventory, like for example, coffee and stuff. So, and that's small portion. We don't give people full boats of coffee. So we're talking about maybe $55 there. You got about $185 in the kitchen. Plus in that refrigerator is a Brita water filter. So we spent about $200 in the kitchen plus silverware, $215, and other cooking essentials like a measuring cup and some bowls. So let's round it up. $250 in the kitchen. That's how much it costs to get a kitchen done efficiently, $250. Next, the layout of this place is kind of unique. So what I did here is I call it a breakfast rail. So we got wood from Lowe's and we got these L brackets from Lowe's, and then we bought these bar stools like in bulk. And of course some IKEA plants. So this cost us about $40 per stool. It costs us about $15 in fake plants. The L brackets probably were about $22 total. The wood was probably about $35 total. So we're talking about 57 plus 160 in chairs, plus the plants is 15. So I mean, we're looking at $230 plus the laminate on the top. So we spent about maybe max $20 in laminate. So this is like a $270, $280 like wall setup, custom to the place because we didn't have enough room for a living room and a dinner table. Here we have our living room with some unicorns just for fun. TV costs about $320. That's a Fire TV by Toshiba. The floating TV stand, we got that from Bob's Discount Furniture. It's probably one of the more expensive places we get our stuff, even though it's still wholesale prices. That thing was, I think, about $250. The fake plants in this room right here is about another $65. So that's $315 plus the TV, that's $630, $640. That globe is like $15. That bowl is about $15. The love seat is about $300. And this end table is about $70. So you're looking about $400 for that stuff, plus the $650, plus that light. We're looking at about $725 plus some pillows, $750. So total living room cost, fully decorated, $750. And that TV has streaming services like Amazon, Netflix, HBO. And we even bought Mulan on Disney Plus, which we advertised to help get more people to want to book with us. Our total cost per apartment, because we have 100 of these, it's about like $6 in streaming services per month per apartment, plus the internet. The bathroom, nice and easy. We bought enough towels for 2 reservations so we can cycle them, body wash, shampoo. So we're looking at about $150 in towels, hand towels, washcloths, the bath and the floor mat. Then about $15 in soaps, including the hand soap that's hiding right there. We of course got garbage cans and a plunger thing. So the mini garbage cans for the bathroom and the bedrooms plus the plunger thing, we're looking at about another 40 or 50 bucks total for all of that. So we're looking at 15 plus 50, 65 plus 150. So 215 on garbage cans, plunger, and towels. Now in the master bedroom, we've got a rollaway bed in the corner so we can increase our occupancy count by 1. That thing's about $250 plus the sheets, pillows, blanket for it is about another 100, so that's $350. Bob's Discount Furniture, like ottoman style thing, that's about $250 or $300 as well. Let's say 300, so that's $650. Plants in the room is about another $80, I think. So that's $730 plus that light puts us at $800. The bed frame here is $100, it's $900. The mattress is about $350, that's $1250. And then pillows is about another $100 in pillows, it's $1350. Blanket, sheets, and extra stuff is probably about $250 worth of blankets and sheets maximum. So we're looking at about $1,500 or $1,600 for the master bedroom. Pretty simple, functional. And of course there's a closet with an ironing board and an iron, so add $30. In my opinion, the non-master bedroom is more pretty than the master, but this one is smaller. So in this one, we've got that same $300, $350 type of ottoman thing. We've got about another $80, $90 in plants, so that's about $450. This bed frame is only about $225, so that's $675 with the canopy, $720. Mattress is another, like I said, about $350. So we're looking at $1070 with the art on the back wall, $1150 including the lamp. That end table's another $70, so $1220. Pillows about another $100, so that's $1320. And then sheets, blankets, and stuff another $250. So we're looking at $1570 for this room. So about $1,500, $1,600 per bedroom. So totaling this all up in the kitchen and bathroom with this bar rail, we're looking at about $700. With the living room, about another $900, so that's $1,600. Plus 2 bedrooms at about $1,600 a piece, and we've spent $4,800 on the place. Now there might be some extra odds and ends that we might have missed when we claimed all this. So like we have an iron and an ironing board that's extra like $30 total. It took me longer than I'd like to make this place ready. I normally get things done like in 3 or 4 days, but there was a delay with internet and other problems. We actually had to redo. We had the landlord actually have to patch up something in the bathroom, like had to take out the ceiling and like redo it, but that cost us $0. The landlord had to pay for that renovation. So that's what's really cool about this is the landlord already paid $70,000 per unit, and there's stuff that we're not happy with. He's got to come in and spend more money on fixing those things too. So that stuff cost us a big fat $0, but we spent $5,000 in the place. So now let's take some photos, let's get it listed, and let's see how much money we can make on this property.
All right. Good morning, Airbnb family. This is the home stretch for the video. We're gonna look at how much money this property is making. We're gonna project some of these numbers because we've only had it on the market for say 7 days or so, and this is going to allow us to like pipeline out how much money this property is projected to make based on what we've already made, make some modest assumptions here, and then look at our cost breakdown for what that money will cost us to make on the property. Now, we put this on the market right before Halloween. And so Thursday the 29th, we put it on the market, and we've had one customer who's continuing to extend with us this whole time so far, and that's how our bookings look. So we've had one housekeeper so far, but we tend to have 5 to 10 housekeeping sessions a month typically. So we're gonna work that into these numbers, but that's a little prelude. So how much money has this guy spent? As soon as we listed it, we dropped our rates for the first few days. So the guy got 7 nights for $660. That's less than $100 a night. Now he's extended 3 times. He's added 4 nights for $410, which is a little over $100. He's added another 3 nights for $384. That's over $125. And he's added another 2 nights for $315, which is over $150. So in 15 nights, he spent $1,770 to stay with us over 15 nights. And if you divide that by 15, it's $118 a night. Now, there's two numbers we could go off of. The $118 per night, if you multiply that by 30 in a regular month, we're looking at $3,540 per month in cash flow currently. That's the number we're going to go off of. But if you look at those last two extensions, we're getting $125 to $155 a night. That's going to be more common of what we anticipate to make, because the reason why he was paying less than $100 a night initially was because the listing was brand new and we wanted somebody today. If you've seen my pricing strategy, or a lot of my pricing strategy videos, I talk a lot about this, and I talk about how I want to keep my calendar open in the future to try to get monthly bookings. I don't want somebody booking a 2-night stay on the weekend and like screwing us up and not allowing us to have a multi-week booking. But if somebody did go in the future and book for 2 nights, they'll spend $250 to $350 a night is probably what's going to end up happening. So let's take that $3,540. How much money do I spend out of the $3,540 and how much do I get to keep? So first things first, we can knock off $1,800 in rent. So we're already down to $1,740. From there, let's knock off internet, which is like $44, $45. So that's like $1,695. Electricity is just under $200, probably ballpark $140 to $200 a month in electricity, heating, air conditioning, I'm going to imagine. So let's knock that from $1,695 down to $1,500. From there, we've got housekeeping fees and supplies. So we paid one housekeeper, one session, $60 to clean this home maximum. And then we probably pay $35 in supplies per month maximum. So that brings us down to $1,400. Now, that $35 in supplies may be a little bit less. These supplies are things that constantly need to be re-upped, like toilet paper, shampoo, stuff like that. And I'm rounding up coffee, decaf, everything. So then at $1,400, if we project what we actually should be paying in housekeeping fees, because we've only had one guest so far, we'll probably have another, say 4 or 5 housekeeping sessions in the month, or we should account for that. So knock another $240 off for 4 housekeeping sessions at $60 per session, which is actually really high because we pay our housekeepers by the hour, by the way. So it will probably take 2.5 hours to clean this home, and we pay $12 an hour. So we're actually only really spending $30. But for you guys who don't have the advantages of scale, let's use 60. So you take that $1,400 minus another $240. We're looking at, what is that, $1,160? We're looking at $1,160. And that's the final number that we're gonna go with. So the cash flow after spending money on internet, electricity, supplies, housekeeping, rents, our net take-home money that we're making on top of this property is $1,140. Me, it's a little bit better because my housekeeping cost is lower and our numbers may actually improve and we may make more money eventually. But we can confidently say we're making more than $1,100 per month on this property. And what's important about this to understand is what is the timeline to get all of your money back. See, I said I spent less than $6,000 setting up this home. And if I spent less than $600 setting up this home, at $1,160 per month, in 5 months, I've gotten $5,800 back out of this property, like that. Not to mention, I got 5 weeks of rent for free, which I can put that extra $1,800 in my pocket. So I get my money back in 5 months or less, depending on my lease concessions. In this case, 4 months, I get all of my money back on this property, and then I can reinvest that money again. And after that first 4 months, considering that I'm paying myself back for all my furniture, I am profiting net cash flow on the property more than $1,100 a month. While the owner of this property spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to make this deal work, and he's getting $1,800 total from me, I'm getting $1,100 net. He is not netting like more than I am, and that includes his debt pay down. And his debt pay down, he cannot reinvest that because it's locked into his mortgage. That $1,100 a month I get, I can go pick up another property in 4 months. And then I can pick up another property, like say in 7 months, and then another one in 10 months, and then 2 more in a year. Like, you can snowball this so much more fast. Sure, these numbers are epic. It's awesome, but they're not abnormal. See, if you notice, this YouTube channel's been up for a few years, and there's thousands of people who've gotten started on this path of Airbnb rental arbitrage since then. I was just in Mexico City for a week shooting some really cool Airbnb video, which you'll see soon, of a friend's place. He has over 120 Airbnb properties now, and he got started watching this YouTube channel. I'm doing even more now than I was back then when he got started, including I made a full course that I do weekly live coaching calls on. there are two things that you can do if you want to be in on this action. I have a membership here on YouTube that you can see all of the database, like all the bank of all the calls. So I do live coaching calls. People ask me questions, very specific high level stuff. And then I teach them for an hour straight every Saturday. So if you just want to see what those calls are and learn from these people through osmosis, you can do the YouTube membership. You go to like the main page, get that. Otherwise, I'm going to leave a link in the description. You can talk to Alberto. He runs my course. And if you want to know how to be part of the course and part of these trainings and part of everything else that I teach, just click on that link and there's more information there. Do that, it's down in the description. If you, of course, have any questions for me, put them in the comments. I'm here for you guys. Thanks as always, and I'll see you on the other side.